So this is the story of one of the most ridiculous cars ever made. And I don't mean ridiculous like expensive or rare. I mean ridiculous like this car weighs almost 3 tons, has a twin-turbo V12, and only one of them exists. This is the Maybach Exelero. And the story actually starts with a brand that was slowly dying. So back in the early 2000s, Mercedes-Benz decides they're going to bring back Maybach. Now, if you don't know Maybach, it's basically the ultra-luxury brand that's supposed to sit above Rolls-Royce and Bentley. Like, this isn't nice car luxury. This is I don't drive myself luxury. And Mercedes puts a ton of money into this. They build massive sedans, super quiet, super smooth, insanely expensive. We're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars per car. And technically, they're really good. But here's the problem. Nobody cares. Celebrities aren't buying them. Rich people who want attention buy Rolls-Royce. Rich people who want sportiness buy Bentley. And Maybach just kind of sits there being boring. So Mercedes realizes something pretty scary. If Maybach doesn't change its image soon, the brand is dead. And then, out of nowhere, a tire company shows up. So there's this German tire company called Fulda. And Fulda is developing a new generation of ultra-high-speed tires. Tires designed to survive 350 kilometers per hour, which is over 217 miles per hour. And to test these tires properly, Fulda needs a very specific kind of car. It has to be extremely heavy, extremely powerful, and stable at insane speeds. So they go to Mercedes and basically say, "Hey, can you help us with this?" And Mercedes immediately sees an opportunity. Instead of building some boring test vehicle, they decide they're going to turn this into a flex, a massive one, something so insane that people will be forced to talk about Maybach again. So they decide to build a one-off car, and they call it the Exelero. Now, at this point, this thing isn't meant to be sold. It's not meant to go into production. It's literally just supposed to exist to test tires and make headlines. And from the start, it's completely unhinged. They take the Maybach 57 platform, which is already a massive luxury sedan, and then they throw the entire luxury vibe out the window. Instead, they design this long, low, jet black coupe that looks like it belongs in a Batman movie. Huge hood, tiny windows, massive wheels, flat black paint, no chrome, no elegance, just intimidation. Then they get to the engine. Under the hood, they drop in a twin-turbocharged V12 making 700 horsepower and 750 pound-feet of torque. And keep in mind, this car weighs nearly 6,000 pounds. That sounds like it shouldn't work, but it does. Because everything about this car is overbuilt. The suspension is reinforced, the brakes are massive, the cooling systems are designed for punishment. This thing isn't optimized, it's armored. And then there are the tires. Fulda builds custom tires specifically for the Exelero. These aren't normal tires. They're designed to handle insane heat, insane loads, and sustained top-speed runs without falling apart. So once the car is finished, it looks absolutely insane. And then they test it. On a closed track, the Exelero hits 350 kilometers per hour. The tires survive, the car stays stable, Fulda gets their data, mission accomplished. At this point, the car has done its job. It could have ended right there. But it doesn't. Because once photos of the Exelero hit the internet, people lose their minds. Car magazines won't shut up about it, forums start speculating, and pretty quickly people start asking the obvious question, can I buy it? And Mercedes is like, maybe. Now this is where things get weird. Rumors start spreading that the car costs around $8 million. Then another rumor pops up saying Jay-Z bought it. That rumor spreads everywhere. It becomes basically accepted as fact. Except it's not true. Jay-Z never owned the Exelero. But at this point, it doesn't matter, because the Exelero has already become a legend. It shows up at auto shows, people take photos like it's a celebrity, nobody knows who owns it, nobody knows where it lives, it's just this mysterious, evil-looking car that exists out there somewhere. Eventually, the Exelero does get sold, quietly. No press release, no announcement, just whispers that someone paid around 8 figures for it. And then it disappears. No production version, no sequel, no Exelero 2. And here's why. Because despite how insane the Exelero was, it didn't save Maybach. Sales were still terrible, the brand still didn't have an identity, and in 2012, Mercedes officially shuts Maybach down as a standalone brand. It's over. Later, Mercedes brings the name back as Mercedes Maybach, basically a luxury trim level. Safe, profitable, boring. And the Exelero becomes something else entirely. A symbol. A reminder of a time when a car company was willing to burn millions of dollars on a single car just to prove a point. No spreadsheets, no shareholders asking questions, just pure excess. Today, everything has to make sense. Everything has to justify itself. The Exelero didn't. It was heavy, it was excessive, it was unnecessary. And that's exactly why people still talk about it. Because the Maybach Exelero wasn't built to succeed. It was built because nobody stopped them.